Charlotte here. I thought I would do a fun video today, and it is so nice outside that I think I'm gonna take you outside with me for a little walk by the lake. But first, let me show you my cute kitties today. Hey, sweethearts. Oh my gosh. Okay. Be back in a bit. Okay, let's go on a journey. The trees are super lovely right now. Do you see those Bradford pear trees? They're just bright white. Oh, I love spring in Chicago. It doesn't last very long, but it's beautiful when it is. When it is spring here, at least. So yeah. Hopefully my camera doesn't get stolen while I'm doing this outside. It is the city, so wish me luck. Okay. I thought I would talk to you guys a bit about how I personally found my pagan path, because I know we all kind of have our own origin story, I guess, because a lot of us, you know, aren't born with parents who practice paganism or Wicca, so we kind of have to go through this process of self-discovery and everything. And I always like to hear other people's stories of how they got involved and at what age did they get involved and things like that. So I personally found paganism when I was 13, and I should say more specifically I found Wicca when I was 13. Pagan's a bit of a broad term, and while I describe myself now as pagan, because my practices are a bit more wider reaching than they were when I was younger, I started out with Wicca, and still my contemporary practice is primarily Wiccan based. So let's see, I grew up when there was kind of a bit of a renaissance in popular culture and movies about paganism and witchcraft. So you had movies out like Practical Magic and The Craft, and there was still like Sabrina the Teenage Witch on and things like that. So there was a lot on pop culture that I grew up with that, you know, was based around that witchy theme. And so I was always aware, and I always found it very interesting, and I loved those movies and things like that growing up. And then eventually I discovered that my local Borders had a little bookshelf with a spiritual section, and from there I found there were maybe like 10 books about Wicca and witchcraft. So that was a good find, and I didn't really know much about what Wicca was versus witchcraft versus paganism or anything like that when I started out. This is about when I was 13 or so, and I ended up picking up the book Wicca by Scott Cunningham, which I've mentioned in a couple of my videos before. It's definitely one of my favorite beginner resources for those starting out, and this book was really beneficial to kind of just my journey and me beginning on my journey. And he really just focuses mostly on the nature aspect to Wicca and finding divinity and connecting with nature. And when I started reading about that, I just felt like this makes a lot of sense to me, and this is what I felt like I was lacking in my life in a lot of different ways. So from that point on, I got his companion book, Living Wicca. I started learning about the Sabbats and kind of celebrating them privately in my little bedroom at home. And I made a tiny little altar that I kept hidden from my parents when I was younger, and learned about, you know, creating sacred space, and then eventually learned how to do a couple simple spells and whatnot. But you know, there were also like a lot of other books that I ended up reading that that probably might have led me a bit astray. I remember I picked up several books from Silver Ravenwolf when I was younger, and I know she's pretty kind of controversial. You know, a lot of people think she's mostly kind of fluffy or whatever, but when I was a teen, I thought they were useful. I mean, I was young, and she did a good job of kind of talking, to younger teens and explaining things in a way that they would understand. So I give her credit for that, and I'm not gonna hate on her. So yeah, and then started from there. I tried to convince a few of my friends to join in with me, and we had our little kind of Wiccan coven for a year or so, but I was always the one that was most interested, and they eventually kind of phased out because, it wasn't their thing, and, they wanted to move on, and try different things. So yeah, that was kind of how I started out. This is probably going to be a super short video because my camera battery is dying. That always seems to happen to me. I always forget to charge it right before I decide to make a video. But I wanted to take you out on this beautiful day with me. I got some more videos planned that I'm thinking about doing and coming up with some new ideas. And I'd love to hear too about what's your origin story, I guess, for finding Wicca or paganism. And is it the same as mine? Did you find a little bookshelf in Borders or Barnes & Noble? Or maybe you grew up with some witches in your family and they were able to teach you. That would be amazing. I wish I did. Or, maybe something else. I'd love to hear your stories. I think it's fun that we all kind of get to share our own unique experiences and our own journeys through YouTube. And yeah, I'll see if my camera lasts long enough to show you a bit of the lake, and I will take you over there. Okay, talk to you in a bit. Bye.